back to Traveling Cat Photos. I'm Kat.
I'm Harry.
And we are in Yosemite National Park today. We are here for 3 reasons. The first being celebrating Tori's birthday. Now, we would have come in mid-February when her birthday actually was, but that is the time of firefall. And it is so crowded here during that time that we chose to delay it just a little bit.
Second is, this is Nate and Parker's first time to Yosemite.
And third, this is our favorite national park. Now, maybe it's just because we live close enough that we can come every 18 months to 2 years, and we have done all sorts of explorations here, but it truly is a magnificent park.
Last time we were here was November 2020, and it was, I think it was a Wednesday, and it was completely deserted. I mean, it was wonderful in that regard, but kind of creepy that it was so deserted. It's kind of funny.
But we've stayed here at the Ahwahnee, we've stayed in their cabins, we've stayed at the lodge. It's an amazing place to come and hang out. But even if you only have an afternoon to drive the loop, you're gonna see some pretty incredible stuff. So let's go hit the road.
We take Highway 140 through the charming little town of Mariposa to get to Yosemite from Monterey.
So just a tip, if you're coming to Mariposa on your way to Yosemite, go to where the museum is, the Minor Museum, and you'll find restrooms. Great place to stop.
On our way back home, we discovered the Happy Burger Diner and their amazing food. With 8 pages of menu items, you're sure to find something great to eat. It's about 35 miles between Mariposa and the Gate of Yosemite, and you get to enjoy the hillsides dotted with wildflowers in the spring, wonderful views of the Merced River, and see the transition between the slate of the valley to the granite of the park. If you camp or RV, then you'll see a few different options at each entrance to the park. These are particularly a good idea this year due to the renovation projects to the camping areas inside of Yosemite, which has limited camping options in 2022. But once you get to the Tunnel Rock, you know you're truly inside the park, with the beautiful Merced on your right, sheer granite cliffs on your left, and gorgeous pine trees straight ahead. We always stop at the Cascades on our way in. It's a great wide parking lot, a nice place to grab a picnic, or just a break, as well as a wonderful place to explore the different tributaries of the falls. The guys had a great time scrambling over the boulders, but the water was freezing, so it really wasn't an option to go in. Yosemite was created as a national park in October of 1890, and with its nearly 1,200 square miles of waterfalls, amazing views, and wilderness areas to explore, it has become one of the most visited national parks in the U.S. We use our America the Beautiful Pass, which costs $80 per year, but if you don't have a pass, it'll be a fee of $35 to enter the park and is valid for 7 days. There are little pullouts all along the loop, and we love stopping at this one that crosses the Merced for the views both up and down river. It was great to see the guys making new memories here, splashing rocks in the water, taking selfies, finding fool's gold. We have so many great ones from the several decades of visits, like boots in the snow, impossibly green vernal pools, and wildlife encounters like this coyote who wandered into my viewfinder as they hunted and caught breakfast. Memories that last a lifetime.
When we bring people to Yosemite, we bring them to the tunnel view.
Everyone else is fond of the tunnel, except me. I loved the many glimpses of Bridalveil Falls as we drove back down towards the valley floor, especially since I knew that the parking lot and trails leading to those falls are closed this year while under renovation. So don't be like those people who thought the closed signs didn't pertain to them. There are more places to see the falls within the next couple of miles. In fact, we found patches of snow to play in, with a view of Bridalveil just a few minutes later. For those of us who live near the ocean, snow, even in the form of patches of ice, is a novelty. But with the view of Horsetail Falls, where you have the chance of seeing Firefall each year, El Capitan, and Cathedral Rocks, along with Bridalveil and Yosemite Falls, this makes it my favorite part of the park. We always try to stop here as it is my favorite valley view, with Yosemite Falls in front of you and the Yosemite Chapel behind. And yes, you can get married here at the chapel. In fact, we saw wedding photos being taken right across the street on Swinging Bridge. I'll link the website below for more information in case you are planning a wedding or a vow renewal. If you're finding this video helpful, please let YouTube know by popping that thumbs up icon for us. We headed off to find a place to have our picnic lunch and found this new visitors information and restroom station.
So one of the super cool things about here is you can fill up your water bottles at the visitor center. There are restrooms and other things to see, but this is brand new and we love it. So now's probably a good time to talk about managing your expectations. National parks are more full than they've ever been before. In fact, if you want to go see one this summer after May 20th, the big ones require reservations that you need to make right now. But while you may not get your perfect parking spot in front of that wonderful waterfall you've always wanted to see, you will see plenty of amazing things at a national park. So drive around, take the loop, take the parking spaces when you can get them, and then get out and walk. There's just so much to see. Lunch view. Not a bad one, right?
A visit to Yosemite isn't complete for us unless we stop by for a tour of the Ahwahnee Hotel, now referred to as the Majestic Yosemite Hotel on the traffic signs due to naming rights. The Ahwahnee is a great place to park and walk around. The hotel was designed by architect Gilbert Stanley Underwood. He was also the architect for the lodges in Bryce Canyon and Zion National Parks. The hotel opened in July of 1927. We have stayed here a few times for special occasions, hung out in this main hall, dined in this beautiful dining room with a view of Yosemite Falls, and enjoyed the warmth of the solarium with its own beautiful views.
for another edition of Parker's Picks. So Parker, tell the people, what is it that you thought was the coolest thing to do in Yosemite?
The coolest thing that I thought was that I got to climb on a bunch of rocks. That was just really fun to me. It was kind of like hiking.
Okay, so when you went hiking down to the river and you guys got to climb the boulders, you and Daddy, and what about the snow?
The snow was okay. It's just really hard. I just kind of wanted to be like soft. I just wanted to be like soft snow instead of like ice.
So it is the middle of March and we did have a snowfall in Yosemite last week. But of course the patches on the ground are really just ice. They're not snow. But something fun to play in.
Go!
If the Ahwahnee looks familiar, it might be that you've been to Disney Resorts Grand Californian or to Disney World's Wilderness Lodge. Both were modeled after this amazing hotel.
As it was getting late in the afternoon, we went off in search of a stamp for our national park's passport book. It was a challenge since the actual visitor center is closed due to COVID protocols. But after a short walk from the village store, Harry was able to find his way to the front of the building where they had the stamps on a table set out on the porch. We noticed that the crowds had begun to thin at the place where we had lunch, and then realized that it was because everyone was waiting in traffic to get to Yosemite Falls. This meant that there was no parking for the walk to the falls, but it also meant we went slowly enough to get some pretty wonderful late afternoon views of the falls as we drove past.
Alright, we're getting ready to leave the park. We had a wonderful day today. I was just checking out the fishing regulations in case I wanted to drop in a pole next time. It's 0 limit for rainbow trout, catch and release only, and it's 5 for brown trout.
We had a wonderful day here today at Yosemite, checking everything out. As you saw, it was very crowded, so we didn't really get out to go walk anywhere, but we absolutely got some amazing views. One last tip, if you're like us and you take a selfie at the sign of every national park, it is actually outside the park before you get to the ranger station. You see the falls behind us? Yeah, the sign is there. So we're going to leave you with a few more photos and an extra special video of this beautiful national park. Safe travels, everyone.
Take care.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We do hope you will subscribe and follow along with us. Until then, here's a little more serenity for your week.